皆さんこんにちは。本当にお久しぶりです。朝倉優です。Well, I'm so sorry. It's been a while since I uploaded my last lesson. Last couple of months I was doing a lot of things, and one of them is actually taking a test for this martial arts class. A couple years ago I started learning Shoninji Kempo, which is a Japanese martial arts. And it's really good for like self-defense, and it's suitable for any gender, age, body types. So I really enjoy it, and training myself to be strong physically and mentally. And one of the things in the class, I realized that everybody, all the students, have to count in Japanese. And I know it's really hard to count in a foreign language, so I have a total respect for those students. And I wanted to go over Japanese numbers today. And we're going to learn how to count up to a million. That's enough, right? And also Japanese counters, which is when you count things in Japanese, you put certain words after numbers to kind of specify what kind, which is not in English. So we'll go over that. So there are a lot of things to memorize today, so I hope you're ready. Okay, so let's count from 1 to 10. Actually, you know what? It starts with 0, right? Okay, 0 is rei or 0. Yeah, can use this. Rei is what's the traditional Japanese one, and 0 came from 0. Alright, so that's the beginning. Okay, let's go from 1 to 10. Just listen to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, maybe you can repeat after me this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got that? Okay, so 4 is, I pronounce the shi, but sometimes you can pronounce it as yon, the same as 7. 7. 7 is, I pronounce it shichi, but you can also say nana. What happens is, if you're just counting, yon or nana sounds a little cute. So little kids or girls might use that. If you're just plain, if it's just plain number, I will stick to shi or shichi. But when you have counters somehow, or whatever we have words following, we use yon and nana. So it's a customary thing. So we'll probably get used to it. Just be aware that 4 and 7 have 2 different ways of saying that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so moving on to bigger number. So after 10, what happens is, so it's 2-digit, right? So the first one is 10, and the last digit is like 1. So the 11 will be 11. Simple, right? So what do you think the next one is? That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, or 17, 18, 19, 20. Right? Oh, yes, I said 20, right? So that's how it goes. So what happens is 20 is just 2 tens, right? So we say 20. And the rest is the same. It'll be 21 will be 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Right? The same rule applies. Next one will be 3, 10, 30. It's 30. Okay. Can we skip to 99? Because it's the same rule. Oh, and just a footnote, for the 40, I know I said 4 is usually shi, but since ju is following the number 4, we often use yonju instead. So let's say 44 will be yonju shi. You can say yonju yon. But shiju is a little bit old style. I heard my grandma used it, but usually right now they're going to use yonju. However, 70 is however 70 is also 70, right? You can say 70 too. That's again kind of old school, so you can say 70. 77 is 77, 77, but you don't really say 77 or 77. It sounds really old, so just remember 40 and 70. So let's skip to 99, which is 99, right? Okay, so next number is 100. 100 is 100, right? And it's basically the same thing. So after 100, let's say if it's 111, we say 111. So it's 111. And it goes on to 112, 113, and again, it's going to be, it's 40, 140, 141, so on and so on. If it's 170, it's 170, so on and so on. And we can go to 100, no, actually, let's skip to 200. 200, it's the same rule as tens. So basically 200 is 200. So 200 will be 200. Again, it's 200. See, 2 is ni, so it'll be 200. So if its a number is 222, that will be 222. Yeah, it's simple. And I want to go to 300. It's the same rule, but it's pronounced 300. 300. You hear that? It's basically 100, but after sound, it's hard to say H, like here sound. So 300 is a little bit too hard. There's a lot of air coming out. So we make he sound B to put a more voice to it. So it is 300. Okay? We're doing the same thing, just the different pronunciation. So if it's 333, it's the same rule, it's a different pronunciation. Okay? And 400 is 400. We don't say 400 at all. I've never heard of it. Alright. And 500 is 500. And next one, 600 is actually, you want to be real a little bit careful because it changed the pronunciation again. Well, it is 6 is 6 and 100 is 100, but when it's combined together, it will be 600. 600. Somehow 600 is a lot of mouth thing going on, so we just shorten it and then we say 600. So for example, if it's words, I was going to say 666, but it's not really good. Okay, so let's use 612. All right, it's gonna be 612. Same rule, different pronunciation. And 700 is 700. We don't use 700, never heard of it. 800 is 800. Sorry, different pronunciation. It's 8 is 8 and 100. 8 and 100 put together, we use 800. Okay? Just different pronunciation. 888 is, for example, it's 888. Okay? So 900 is 900. So 999 will be, what do you think? So there are 900, 9 tens, and 9. So which is 999. Okay, you got that one? Alright, so moving on. Next one will be 1,000. 1,000 is 1000 in Japanese. Okay? Somehow, for 100, I didn't really didn't say that it's 100. Usually use like 100. So we didn't put the number 1 on top of 100. As for 1000, I actually use both. You can just go simply 1000, which is 1,000, or we can specify 1,000, which is 1000. Yeah, ichi is pronounced shorter, so 1000. We can do both. So let's say if it's 1,000, 1,111, it will be 1111, or 1111. We're following the same rule. Just count each digit with the 100, 1010, and we just put them all together. So that was 1,000, and you go to next one will be 2,000, which is, what do you think? Yes, it's 2,000. So, for example, if it's 2,222, will be, yes, 2,222. Okay? So, 3,000 is 3,000. Again, it's the pronunciation is a little different because after 3,000, it's too weak, the sen part. So we put a little bit voice. It's pronounced 3,000. So how about this number 3333? It's 3,333. Okay. So just keep going. It's 4,000, 4,000, and we don't say 4,000. No. 5,000, it's 5,000. 6,000, just go with the rule, 6,000. Okay. 7,000, 7,000. We don't use 6,000. And 800, 8,000 is 8,000. Shorten the hachi, and it's pronounced 8,000. And 9,000 is 9,000. So 9999, it will be read 9,999. Okay, so after 1,000, it will be 10,000. Yeah? Okay. So, although English, you put comma every 3 digits, and it's easier to count in English that way. In Japanese, it's easier if you put comma in every 4 digits. Because what happens is, let's say this 1 1만 is 1 and then 4 digits following, right? What happens is if you put one more zero, when it looks like this part is actually 10, right? So it's gonna be 10만. And if you add one more zero, it will be 100만. Okay? One more zero, it will be 1000만. You see the rule? So the first 4 digits, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 10, 100, 1000. And then after this comma, there is it's called 만, but after that it's the same thing repeated. So it's 1만, 10만, 100만, 1000만, 1000만. Okay? So now there's another comma, and after that it's called oku. Okay? So same rule, that will be 1億, right? You add one more zero right here, then it will be 10億. One more zero, that's 100億, and one more zero, that's 1000億, 1000億. So to convert between English and Japanese, when the number gets a little big, it can be really confusing. I usually put, if the number is like that big, I'll write it down and then just count it 0, and then I put like 4 every 4 digits. It's much easier that way. Okay, let's learn some Japanese counters. So in English, let's say if you're counting pens, you can say 1, like a pen, 2 pens, 3 pens. But in Japanese, you have to have a word after the number to count it, just to kind of specify what you're counting. It's almost like in English, let's say you have like a 1 piece of something, or like a 1 sheet of paper. So I think that it's the same usage, one like a piece, sheet after a number. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with just general small objects, like just in general. Okay. So it's a ko, and I'll count from 1 to 10 with that. Okay. Let's say we're counting an apple, like a little small object. We say 1個, 1 apple, 2 apples, 2個, 3個, 4個, 5個, 6個, 7個, 8個, 9個, 10個. Yeah? As you noticed, for 4 and 7, I used 4 and 7. We don't use shi and shichi for this part. So when you use counters, just use 4 and 7 usually, because it sounds better with counters. Okay? And for the general small objects, we have old school way of counting, which we use a lot nowadays still. So, and it's a little the way it's read, it's a little bit different, so please listen to me carefully and repeat. Starting from 1. 1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ、6つ、7つ、8つ、9つと。See, if you know kanjis, all the numbers that I listed here, that's the way kanjis can be read too. So 1つ、2つ、3つ、7つ。1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ、6つ、7つ、8つ、9つと。Yeah. So yeah, please memorize this one too. I know it's a little bit difficult because sometimes we use these because based on kanji, we use these pronunciations sometimes. For example, when we count people, person, we use this one because in kanji it's gonna be written like this, one, and this letter is for a person, human being, and it's read hitori, and 二人、三人、4人、5人、6人、7人 or 7人 you can put both 8人、9人、10人 okay. When you hear that, some of the numbers are more pronounced differently because that's where when kanjis are read differently. So that was the people, and I am just doing 1 through 10 because I have just so much to memorize, so I don't want to go too far. But for the people, to counting people, 11 people will be 11人, and 12 is 12人, and 13人, and so on and so on. So it's with some exceptions as usual. It's basically the same thing, just follow the last digit and combine with the counter. Okay, so that was person. So if it's an animal, we use the word hiki. Okay, so I'll repeat, I'll say from 1 to 10. So repeat after me. 1匹、2匹、3匹、4匹、5匹、6匹、7匹、8匹、9匹、10匹. Yes, because it has a P sound which is like explosive. Some words has a little tsu in it, which is like stopped. So that's what happens. So that was animals. Or we use it for like insects, maybe a little one. However, birds have different counter, which is what? It goes like this. 1話、2話、3話、4話、5話、6話、7話、8話、9話、10話. Yeah. Okay. So enough with the living things. And since I talked about a pen, I wanted to say something like, looking like this. Doesn't matter what size. Sort of like a cylinder-like object. We have a counter called hon. Okay? It goes 1本、2本、3本、4本、5本、6本、7本、8本、9本、10本. Right? And I also mentioned about sheet, like a paper or like some cloth, you know, like a flat, thin material. It is count with 枚. So what happens is 1枚、2枚、3枚、4枚、5枚、6枚、7枚、8枚、9枚、10枚. So actually, like the bills, we use that money to count too. Okay. And what else do we use a lot? How about like a bowl or glasses, something like the object that holds like water or food or something like that. It is called hai. Okay. So it will be 1杯、2杯、3杯、4杯、5杯、6杯、7杯、8杯、9杯、10杯. Okay. Moving on. Yes, machinery, which is like a computer or car or like, you know, some machine can be a little like a kitchen tools, or can be a car or tractor. Big ones, if it's a piece of machine, we use the word dai. So it goes to it goes 1台、2台、3台、4台、5台、6台、7台、8台、9台、10台. And actually, like a phone, even a cell phone, it's a little tiny one. I use the word 台. I went through a lot for such a short period of time, and I know there are a lot to just memorize, but I hope you just get used to it for now, and then when you start actually using it, you'll be okay. So don't freak out, just start one by one. Just remember the Japanese counting system and some of the counters are general ones, and the pronunciation ones, just keep saying it and you get used to it. Okay, and thank you for watching my lesson again. If you have any comments or requests, you can leave it here on YouTube, or I have a Twitter account, Yu Asakura. So just follow me and shoot me a message from there, and I am looking forward to seeing you on my next lesson. Okay? Well, thank you so much. ありがとうございました。勉強頑張ってください。またね。